Hello and welcome to Icelandic Formula Offroad. We're here in Blonduos for the fourth race of the season. This event, the penultimate round of the Icelandic Championship, ending in Akureyri like usually with the final race of the season. Now we kick it off looking at the modified class. In third place, Finnur Bárðarson driving the rock. And rocks, well, gravity pulls them down. Second, Sævar Páll Stefánsson driving Ironman. Classy roll. And the winner in Blonduos, Helgi Jóhannesson. Nicely done here, won quite comfortably in Ruddin. Here we have Helgi Jóhannesson finishing the last course of the day, and a big roll while doing it. Now Helgi, the only driver in the modified class to finish a course this year with full length. Now let's move over to the unlimited class. Ingvar, the reigning champion, rolling into the pits there. Now the standings in the championship changed in Egilsstadir, where Bjartur Elíasson lost the lead to Finnur Aðalbjörnsson, but Ingvar, the reigning champion, sitting in third with Atli Jamil fourth. Can Bjartur strike back? Can Ingvar get back into the hunt? Now we kick it off with the championship leader, Finnur Aðalbjörnsson. He wants to extend his lead here. Finnur, the first car to tackle the course. 250 for length there, no penalty points, need to get through the final gate. Next up we have Gunnar Valgeirsson driving the Joker. Loose material here. Ooh, gets thrown up there, but lands it nicely. However, that was the end of the day for Gunnar Valgeirsson. And we can see why. Now Guðlaugur Helgason. This course going to get dug up really fast. We can see how much, but how loose the material is. Almost gets it there, but a bit of hesitation on the way up. 250 for length, 20 penalty points. Now Bjartur Elíasson, he wants the lead back. Bjartur won here last year, his first and only win in the Icelandic Championship. Has a cup win to his name as well. Look how deep Bjartur goes. We can see the out of bounds marker there behind the car now. Ooh, full power here, goes for it, big jump through the gate, lands nicely there on the rear wheels, and that is full points for length, 350 and 40 penalty points. So Bjartur taking the lead here for now. Now Atli Jamil in the Raptor. He's seen Bjartur do it. Through the gates there, tries to get the car as far down as possible and then gets it turned. We can see the second out of bounds marker there. Has a good run here and nicely done. That's a smooth run, and that puts Atli Jamil on top. Only 20 penalty points for that one. Now Ingvar Jóhannesson, he's seen his two rivals go all the way. Knows how to do it now. Gets the car turned here. Or what's struggling a little bit, getting it turned. There we go, and now full throttle. Just didn't have the traction, it seemed, and gets stuck up top. Now the rear wheels didn't cross the gate, so that's only 250 for length. Now Kristján Sæmundsson, a second driver on Brjála, second this race. He used to drive a car called the Contractor about 5 years ago, and Kristján has won podium here in Blonduos, actually, on the Contractor. But he's never driven this car before, but he does not show that here. 350 for length out of nowhere. he just had all the traction in the world there at the bottom. Really nicely done. Takes the lead after track 1. Now can Páll Jónsson in the Sheep do the same? No, he can't. 250 for length, 20 penalty points. We saw what Christian did there. He just got the car completely lined up and had all the traction needed. Now the track kept getting easier though, and a total of 7 drivers scored 350 points. 2 drivers driving Thor this weekend as well. And as we can see, that's well, barely a climb anymore. Let's look at the standings after track 1. Guðmundur Elíasson, Aron Ingi Svansson, Daniel Ingemundsson, Grétar Ingþórsson, Kristján Sæmundsson, Grímur Helgusson, all with 350 points here. So the championship leaders that all kind of started early off did not get the track as easy as it was before, but in Formula Offroad the start order changes after every track. So if you started last in the first track, you're going first in the second track. Simon Benderson here needs to reverse, needs to get the car turned and going up here towards our camera. It's gonna be an opportunity for the rear wheel steering cars to grab some points. And now a big climb here. Simon and Mori all the way. Look how loose it is, the material, but he gets the traction. Big jump and gets thrown up on the rear end there. 240 for length, 140 penalty points. Didn't hit the final gate. Went left off the markers. Now Bjartur Eliasson. This track looks difficult. Let's see how Bjartur tackles it. Gets it steered nicely here. No reversing needed and clears all the gates. There's no penalty points so far. Using all the track available to him as he gets the car turned. Does it earlier and has way more traction on the flat surface and made it look so easy there. Bjartur used the fact that he was still well on even ground there to his advantage. Atli Amel here, nicely done in the Raptor. No penalty points so far. Gets thrown up there a little bit and catches well, one wheel outside of the marker there, so 20 penalty points for Atli Amel, but otherwise full points for length. Now Andrimár Sveinsson in the Cowboy. Andrimár here in the Cowboy. He's been in contention in so many races, but just not stringing together. Needs to reverse here. That's 40 penalty points. Doesn't get the car turned, and that's 80 penalty points more. Does he touch the marker there? He does. That's 40 more. Costly for the Cowboy. Then he goes all the way, or what? Yes, he does. But that is 200 penalty points, and that is Andrimár just, well, falling out of the hunt in Blonduos. Now Kristján Sæmundsson, the first man to go all the way in track 1. Nicely done here. Look how far those front wheels can turn. Just touches the marker there for 20 penalty points. Unlucky. Brjála, a really well built car. Bit of hesitation there at the beginning, but that did not matter one bit. 350 for length, but catches the gate in the end. So 50 penalty points. Now Sveinn Skarphéðinsson, this is Andrimár Sveinsson's father, and it's his first event driving Taxi Bitch. A car, well, built by a few and run a few of the drivers to introduce new people to the sport. In his first event here, tackling the big line, goes for the jump, goes all the way here, 350 for length and 40 penalty points. And as you can see, staff and everybody just happy with him. And we see Andre loving this. Next up, Guðmundur Eliasson makes good use of the four-wheel steering here. Will probably do as well for the climb. So much traction here, 20 penalty points, but that is Guðmundur Eliasson taking the lead in Blonduos. Now we have Grétar Óli Ingþórsson driving Thor. This is Grétar's third event in 3 different cars. He actually won in Akureyri in 2019 driving Katla Turbo. And now taking Thor for a spin. Thor Þormar also driving a car in Blonduos. Needs to reverse here. 40 penalty points, but didn't touch the marker. And now for the climb. Nicely done there, lands it, and through the gate, no penalty points there, 350 for length, 40 penalty points. The track looks like it's getting easier, but sometimes it can be deceiving. Finnur Abjusson. Too close to the gate here. He's going to need to reverse or take the marker. Takes the 40 for reversing here. Lost 100 points in track 1. Needs to gain some of them back. So getting 40 penalty points here already is costly. He's going to be losing more on the leaders. Oh, big jump takes the gate for 20 points there, so that's 290 total. Oh, almost gets it rolled in. Nicely done. Was taking a different line there, different approach, but manages to do that without any penalties. Not sure how well the front dip felt when it landed there in the ground, but it felt good enough to go all the way for 350 without penalty points. Guðmundur Helgason, a solid run here. Now let's look at the standings after the first 2. Guðmundur Eliasson leads 20 points ahead of Bjartur Eliasson, Atli Jamil and Grétar Óli, with Kristján Simonsson in 5th and Sveinn Skarphéðinsson in 6th. So the rookies doing well, the rookies and the returnees doing a good job there. Now we move over to the third track of the day. This is Sigurður Bjartmansson driving the Dream. Well, it used to be the Dream at least. One of these old school cars, 250 for length here, 20 penalty points. Now Arningi Svansson. All the way in the first track. Quite well in the second one and gets 300 points for length here, 20 penalty points. Needs to drive away to get the full points. This track proved to be pretty easy, with the top drivers going up all the way with around 330, 350 points, so getting full points for length, but just then a question of catching one marker. When these simple tracks come up, it's so important to make sure you lose no points. Guðmundur Eliasson here, the leader, gets thrown up there. Was that the rear wheel steering messing with him? But that's reversal, so that's 40 penalty points, and that's Guðmundur giving away the lead here. Must make it all the way, and he does, but takes a hefty penalty point to hold there, 60 penalty points. And that means that he drops out of the lead down to 4th place, with Bjartur Eliasson and Atli Jamil neck and neck. Up top, Kristján Simonsson in 3rd, Grétar Óli in 5th, and Guðlaugur Helgason in 6th. And with Finnur and Ingvar nowhere near the top, this is looking really good for Bjartur if he can well catch the win or a 2nd place here, with his main rivals not in the picture here. Now, Elvald Orre in the Bachelor. 180 and a bit of a roll. Next up, Ingimar Björnsson in the bomb. Gets up. This track first with one climb, and then this side slope tries to save it there. It's not far from saving it, but 210 for length and 40 penalty points. Drivers need to be very there off the out of bounds. Now, Christian Simonsson. Big jump. Now needs to go down here, make sure that he does not do something similar as we saw before. You can see the out of bounds marker there, and then there is a red marker that looks like he will touch. Yes, he does. More gates here in the side slope, and now needs to get it turned and go all the way up. Struggled a bit there, takes the gate massively, but gets through. And there, it's done. 350 for length, but 220 penalty points. That's hefty. Next up, Páll Jónsson. This track, tricky. This is one of the tracks that you would see Simba perform really well in here in the last few years. Páll Jónsson here. Well, sheep's not quite as agile as lions, at least. 230 for length, 40 penalty points there. Now Daniel Ingimundarson decides to take a little bit more speed, which makes this a lot easier, it seems. And it does. All the way here, 350 for length, 80 penalty points. So 270. And definitely carrying the speed through the side slope there, making it simpler. You can see there that Arninki gets all a little bit more dodgy. He touches the stick there. Another one here. Gets it going again, but takes a gate also in the end. Oh, and rolls over the top. But he went far enough to get 350 for length there, but a hefty penalty points. So, Ingvar Jóhannesson. Big jump. The reigning champion stopped here at the first gate, 150 points. That is Kosti Bjartur almost rolling Olsen here. Ingvar, is he, well, officially out of the title hunt here? So safely through the incline here. And easily all the way 350 for length, 20 penalty points. So that is a very strong run for Bjartur. How can Atli Jamil replicate? One for the fans at least. They were equal on points before this track. Look at how the suspension in that Raptor works. Beautiful machine. Through that first bit all the way. However, 40 penalty points in the big jump there at the beginning. So now Bjartur leads with 20 points on Atli Jamil. They're still neck and neck. Gretar Ole up to third, and Guðmundur Eliasson fourth, with Guðmundur Helgason fifth, and Finnur Aðalbjörnsson in sixth. And now he's climbing back up the ladder. Now Guðmundur Eliasson here in track number 5. First climb here. This is the kind of climb, we can see how steep it is there below. This is the kind of place where you can really mess up. Goes all the way down, and then he needs to get it turned and go back up. It's always difficult to be first when you can see the course kind of... Well, he doesn't go any further now, but he reverses for 40 penalty points, and there he goes for it. You need a lot more pace to go through there. And misses the gate here, 240 for length, 180 penalty points. Needed to go through the gate that we see there, and that is Guðmundur probably pushing himself out of contention here, because that track did not look so difficult that some won't make it. Now Gretar Ole doing a very good job here. in his first race on Thor. Up all the way, one misses the gate as well. 240 for length, but 40 penalty points, so 200 points total. Now Gunnlaugsson driving too insane. Won't go any further. 230 for length, 40 penalty points. And if we see more people getting stuck there, it could get a little bit difficult because the rats are bigger. Misses the gate as well here. Guðlaugur Helgason, 240 for length, 60 penalty points. And maybe Guðmundur Eliasson and the gang weren't. What can Mode do? On the back wheels. Ow! But rolls through the final gate. And is deemed to not be, well, far enough. 300 for length. Now Bjartur Eliasson. Easy does it. 350 for length, 20 penalty points. That's Bjartur extending his lead here. Can Atli Amel fight back? Sveinn Skarphéðinsson, no, that's a roll. Have been leading his son Andrei and the Cowboy all day, but loses that lead on the sun here. Now Thormar. Screaming engine. Almost stuck, but goes through. 350 for length, 40 penalty points. So 310 for Thor. Now Atli Jamil, can he fight back? His rival only got 20 penalty points. Oh, it's a big hit on the final stick. 60 penalty points for Atli Jamil, 350 for length, so 290. And that is Bjartur extending his lead by 40 points. Now Kristján Sæmundsson. Would you look at that? Almost rolls it here. Manages to stop there. That's probably not penalty points for reversing, but goes all the way. 350, no penalty points. Nicely done here for Kristján. Let's look at the standings. Now Bjartur going into the final track with 60 points. And Atli Jamil, yeah, pretty solidly in second with Grétar Óli in third. Kristján Sæmundsson now in fourth, but Finnur up to fifth. So Finnur potentially managing to salvage something here. But Bjartur, if he goes all the way here in the final track, he has secured the win. Only one win to his name in the Icelandic Championship. That was last year here in Blonduos. And we learned that the first, well, immediately with the first car, that this track was simply too easy. Everyone got 350, so the standings did not change at all. And what a race for Bjartur. 2,010 points out of the 2,100 possible in a Formula Offroad race. Now Bjartur has a 4-point lead over Finnur Aðalbjörnsson before the final race in Akureyri. Atli Jamil sitting 8 points behind. Bjartur only needs to finish second in Akureyri to win the Icelandic Championship.